Hello, welcome to a new video. I'm doing something a little bit different today. As you would have guessed from the title and thumbnail, I am reviewing a subscription box. Now, this isn't something I'm going to do for any subscription, but this is for the Fairyloot Romantasy subscription, which started last April. April was the first box. So this is a 6-month review. I am currently still a subscriber. I am on the fence about whether I'm going to stay a subscriber or not. I'm definitely going to be getting the March box because the book does sound really good. But I thought I would do a little review because I have read these 6 books. Go me. Look at me reading book boxes. This is the only reason I've actually got to these books. I made it a mission to actually read at least the first 6 months of these books so that I could review them, because I don't want to just keep a subscription for the sake of it. Illumicrate I do tend to keep, not for the sake of it, but for the rare occasions we get a mug and then the book pots, because I have all the book pots and I don't want to miss any. But Fairyloot Romantasy is a book only, and I used to be, I was a subscriber of their box back when they only had the YA box. I used to get the box with the item, like the book with the items, and I think I was subscribed from their, just before their second or third anniversary. So I have been a Fairyloot subscriber for years, and then when they brought out their adult one, I started getting the adult because that was when I had sort of started gravitating. I was skipping quite a lot of the YA and I just wasn't enjoying the items in that box anymore, so I stopped getting that and started getting the adult. I wasn't enjoying the sound of the adult books, so I ended up just cancelling that subscription. And then when they brought out the Romantasy, I was like, this is great, because I feel like adult romantasy is my sort of thing now. I've read quite a lot of adult romantasy and I do enjoy a lot of it. So I signed up. I was like, I think in the first batch of waitlist, which is insane, because I know so many people signed up for that waitlist and not everyone got an invite when they originally sent out first invites. I was lucky enough that I did. So I signed up and here we are now. So it is February 2025. The first box for this was April 2024. So I'm just going to go through these 6 books. So these were the first 6 books. They are beautiful editions. We're going to go through them and we'll just see. So back in April was Enchanted Phase, and the book was Law of the Wild by Annalise Sabrana. So this was a 4-star for me. It was technically 4.5 if you count half stars on Corpile, which I don't, but it was a 4.5. I really enjoyed this. This is one that I'm definitely going to continue this series. I'm actually so excited for the second book, and I do hope Fairyloot do a matching edition. So these were the edges. This was the naked cover. And then we had a reverse dust jacket. And then we had stunning end paper art. Which was great. And then we obviously got the art with the author letter on the other side. So this one overall was a win for me. I absolutely loved this book and I am very excited to continue. So we started off strong with a win. Next in May was Written in Red, and this was one I wasn't sure about. So it was A Curse of Blood and Wolves by Melissa McTernan. So this is one that had quite a lot of reviews already because it was a indie publish that got picked up by a traditional publisher. So it basically got republished, but traditionally this time. This edition is absolutely stunning. Artwork with author letter, and then we have the naked cover which is stunning. And then this is the original cover, but in a different colorway. So the original one is this sort of blue with bits of red in it, whereas this is just all red with white. And then the end papers, I like that. So this was absolutely stunning. This unfortunately was not a win. This was a 3-star for me, and I think it was a low, yeah, it was a low 3-star. I wasn't a massive fan of this. This will be great for some people. For me, it was ridiculously cringy, and not in the way I can tolerate. Like, I know to an extent all romances and romantasies and all that sort of thing are cringy, but this was just not on the level I'm okay with. I wouldn't not recommend it. However, I wouldn't necessarily run to recommend it to everyone. So this one is one that I won't be continuing the series. So we're 1 for 1 so far. So I'm doing 2 different piles here. Next in June was Rotten to the Core, which every time I saw someone talking about this theme reveal, my brain was just going to Descendants, and I hope yours did too when I read that. So for this one we had Nectar of the Wicked by Ella Fields. This is another one that was indie published and then got picked up by a traditional publisher. Again, this is a beautiful cover. It's a bit plainer, but look at that. It's a beautiful naked cover, but there is no reverse dust jacket, which I think people are a little bit gutted about, which is a shame. This is adorable as hell. I love that. But it is the same on front and back, which is a shame. So looks wise, this is my least favourite so far. And I DNF'd this. Now, I DNF'd this, and I think it's Fairyloot's fault. Because Fairyloot have not put in their blurb enough detail about how she meets the love interest. It really rubbed me up the wrong way, and it made me feel so uncomfortable that I could not carry on. I can't even remember how far I got into this. It was less than 100 pages, but I just felt so icky. I DNF'd this. I think I maybe would have been able to continue, and it probably would have got a 3-star if I'd known in advance the context behind how she meets him. And after reading and I didn't read the official blurb before reading it, because I'd read the one in this book that Fairyloot gave me. Not gave me, you know what I mean. So I thought I was prepared, and I'd looked up triggers, and my triggers weren't in it. I was prepared. And then, yeah, after that was, that happened, I reread the blurb. I was like, yeah, it definitely doesn't like hint towards it at all. And then I went and read the actual blurb, and I feel like that leans into it more, which I would have been more prepared for. So I feel like this is on Fairyloot for changing the blurb. Just that, stick with the normal blurb. There's a reason. So this is going in the no pile because I DNF'd it. Next was July, and it's Monstrous Secrets. And for this, it was The Wren in the Holly Library by K.A. Lind. This, I think, is on par with Law of the Wilds for like the best looking edition. So we have this naked cover. Again, no reverse dust jacket, which is a little bit disappointing. But that's the front end papers. There's a library. Not that you would have guessed that from the name of the book. And then the back end papers. And I'm happy to report this was a 4-star, technically 4.5. Again, I genuinely thought this was a 5-star. I think I've got it mixed up with one of the others, which, spoiler, spoiler for the head of the video. So yeah, this was a 4.5. This is another one that I cannot wait for the sequel, and I'm really hoping Fairyloot do an addition to match, because I would love a matching set of this series because it is stunning both inside and out. I really enjoyed this, and this was definitely a win. So this joins Law of the Wilds. Next was August, and it was Captive Hearts, and for this one it was Bonded by Thorns by Elizabeth Helen. Again, another one that was indie published and has been picked up for traditional publishing. So the whole series is out of this. Another beautiful cover. This one, we're back to, I mean, that is stunning. And then we're back to, this is the original cover in a different colorway. So the original colorway for this is like, I think it's like a, not quite black, but like a dark, really dark blue or something with red in that. And again, like the original cover's stunning, but like I really like this. And then we have end paper number 1. And then end paper number 2. And whilst I didn't dislike this book, this was another 3-star. Now this one was a 3.5, so it was a little bit higher. For me, it was okay. It was okay. I won't be picking up the rest of the series. It didn't intrigue me enough. I feel like the first book wrapped up enough that anything that was left open for the second book, I'm not fussed. I just wasn't a massive fan. So this is going in the no pile. And then September, month number 6 of having the Fairyloot Romantasy, was Shadowed Fate. And for this, it was the Half King by Melissa Landers. Again, look at that. Just look. Just look. We have a stunning naked hardcover. Again, nothing on the reverse dust jacket, which is a little bit disappointing. And then they actually didn't end up, I think this was supposed to be an author letter with artwork. We didn't end up getting it. I'm not sure what happened there. We got sent it at a later date, and I don't think the author letter, actually no, the author letter is in here, so that one's fine. But the author letter actually made me so invested in this. So we have that end papers. That dress is stunning. And then the back end papers. Absolutely stunning. Obsessed. This, my friends, was 5-star. I had the best time with this. It was such a good book. I loved every second of it. And like I said, the author letter, I read the author letter before I started reading it. And I genuinely, it had me so much more invested that I was like, yes, I'm reading this book ASAP. And I'm so glad I did. Hooked from page 1 till the end page. It was so good. So this is going on for the wins. So now we come to the end of the 6-month review, and we have an issue because we have 3 on the yes, continue this subscription pile. And then we have 3 that are on the no, just quit while you're ahead. I will say I am very disappointed in Fairyloot. Not one of these has any sapphic relationship in it. There is a male-male side relationship. I don't think there's any female-female relationship in this. This doesn't have any queer rep. I think this had some queer rep, but it wasn't like a main thing. There might have been like a side thing. The main character in this, I believe, is bi and has had a previous relationship with a woman. So this is the closest they got to a sapphic relationship, but you don't actually see the relationship. It's talked about. And then this does not. So I'm very disappointed that they just tend to go for straight or straight passing, which isn't okay. Like if you look at Illuma Crate have a massive diversity on their type of books. Like I think a year or 2 ago, someone looked into it properly, and Illuma Crate were 50-50 for queer and straight books, which is how it should be. And it's just really disappointing that Fairyloot just don't seem to care about their queer subscribers, because I would like some more queer books, please. And that is what's leaning me towards cancelling my subscription. Now, another thing that's leaning me towards cancelling my subscription. So obviously, no matter whether the book sounded like my sort of thing or not, I carried on getting it until September, because I wanted to do the full first 6 months and give all of them a go. since then, I have only had two books. So I'm actually on my last skip now, which sucks. So I got October's, which is Dark Dalliance, which was The Coven by Harper L. Woods. I don't think this is going to be my sort of thing. The book sounded great. It is straight, I believe. I could be wrong on that. I haven't read this one yet. However, this seems like it's student teacher, and while they're adults, it still makes me feel a bit icky. But I will be reading this year because it's on my 12 books for 2025. So we'll see, but I'm just in no rush. And then I skipped November and December's because they just didn't interest me at all. And then I got January's, which was Cosmic Crown. And I have actually, it's the Starlight Air by Emily Howard. And I have actually switched the cover. The actual Fairyloot cover is just so boring. And when you compare it to the, like, this is the original cover with a different colorway. Why would you take this and give us something so bland? I just don't understand that. But this one sounds really good. It does sound like it's straight. Again, but I want to give it a go because I'm not saying every book has to be sapphic or queer in any way, but it would just be nice to get a little bit of balance. And I feel like Fairyloot don't have that balance. I feel like Fairyloot just don't do many queer, like openly queer books. There might be a side character that's queer, but I would like the main relationship to be queer every once in a while. And when they do have queer, like in Bonded by Thorns, it's male. Like, can we please have some female? Maybe some non-binary characters? It would be nice. But yeah, and I will say I have skipped February. However, I'm annoyed because February I feel like I shouldn't lose a skip for because it's actually the first book in a sequel series. So I looked into it, and so many people that have read it, that have read the original series, say, no, you should really read the first series because you're going to miss a lot of things. And I'm like, cool. Well, I'm not going to go and read a whole however many book series there is just to know if I'm going to like this. So I've had to skip, which is a shame because February's book sounded really cool. I will be getting March's, but after March, if I need to skip, then it will be cancelled because I don't have any skips left, which kind of sucks. So yeah. Actually, I might have one more skip. Wait, because I skipped November, December, February, and I'm going to get March. Yeah, I should have one more skip. So we'll see. We'll see how long it takes for me to use that skip. And then once I've used that skip, that will be the decider whether I want to keep getting it or not. Because, yeah. So really, whilst this idea was great and I wanted to follow through with the video because I did not put the time into making sure I read my BookBox books for nothing, this was very inconclusive and didn't actually help me decide because 3 for 3. So yeah, overall, I have no idea. However, I would say if you want queer books, don't go to Fairyloot Romantasy because you're not going to get queer. And that's, I'm really bitter about it because I just want more queer books. So yeah. And queer romantasy is so hard to find, like, traditionally published, which sucks because there's so many, like, queer people out there that would eat that up. Anyway, I am sort of rambling a bit now because I could rant about it for ages, but I'm not going to. So let me know in the comments below if you get Fairyloot Romantasy and how you're feeling about the pics that you've read from them. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye.